RKO. NWO back with another DVD, I don't even know what I'm saying, DVD review, brought to you by Wrestling Brian 123, who posted a comment on my moderator board saying he wanted this box set to be reviewed, and it got a miraculous 4 votes. So we're going to do this review. It's for you, Wrestling Brian 123. So this is the 2005 PPV Rewind set, bought from secondspin.com for only miraculously $80 for all these, and they're sealed. Yet the guys, it said it was used online. See, sticker at the bottom. Anyway, let's get started with this first pay-per-view. New Year's Revolution 2005. This is the first ever pay-per-view New Year's Revolution series, and it was ironically on my birthday. This was for the vacated World Heavyweight Championship, decided in the Elimination Chamber match, and this is when Batista was slowly turning into a face. He was still a heel till Evolution, and this is when the Kane, Triple H Orton feud was still going on, but Batista was like turning, leaving a tweener. So, well, Triple H won the vacated World Heavyweight Championship in the Elimination Chamber match, which leads on to the Royal Rumble, where John Cena and Batista got their big break, being the last 2 men left in the Royal Rumble, and both eliminating each other at the same time. And then the match was restarted with them two go back into the ring, and Batista eliminated John Cena to win the Royal Rumble and go on to WrestleMania to face Triple H, who retained that night, and JBL, who also retained that night. That was Royal Rumble 2005. We go on to No Way Out 2005, which was it wasn't that great of a pay-per-view. The best match was Kurt Angle versus John Cena, with the winner gets the title shot to face the WWE Champion at WrestleMania 21. So, and JBL beat Big Show in the Steel Cage barbed wire match. Now we go on to WrestleMania 21 Goes Hollywood. See this? And this is the era of Cena and Batista. This is when Cena won the world title and Batista won the world title. This is a good condition. I have a crappy one over there. So, the best match on the night was definitely Orton versus Undertaker, and HBK versus Kurt Angle. And this is the first time that both the World Heavyweight Champion and the WWE Champion changed hands on the same night at WrestleMania. So, interesting fact there. Which led to the continuation of the Triple H versus Batista feud by Backlash. And the second match, what people say was the horrible match of the 3 of the series. And we saw the return of Hulk Hogan to the ring, teaming up with Shawn Michaels, Edge versus Chris Benoit in a last man standing match, because Edge cost Chris Benoit out of the Money in the Bank, and even the steel chair in the arm, and Edge cashed in. Imagine if Chris Benoit did win Money in the Bank. We would never be able to talk about it in wrestling, since, yeah. So we got that. Moving on to Judgment Day 2005, which actually I ordered on pay-per-view, and it was actually a pretty good pay-per-view, because this John Cena was actually in a real last man standing match with I Quit match with JBL, and those two did give a lot of bloodshed, and this was actually a great pay-per-view, and the main event was epic, and Cena retained the WWE Championship. This is when I was a Cena fan. Moving on to ECW One Night Stand. We did not expect what was going to happen in this event. This was something brand new we never seen before. Well, it wasn't brand new. It's a return, the homecoming of ECW on a WWE pay-per-view. I believe that was like a couple weeks after Judgment Day, and this was 5 out of 5 star event. Most wrestling fans loved ECW One Night Stand 05 and 06. And 2 weeks later, I believe it was Vengeance, or the week after, Vengeance 2005, and this was a big card because Cena was on Raw and Triple H was on Raw. So WWE Champion and the World Heavyweight Champion was on the main show Raw, and it was Triple H versus Batista in Hell in a Cell, which was an epic Hell in a Cell match, and John Cena versus Christian versus Jericho in a triple threat match for the WWE Championship. So this was a really good event. Moving on to the Great American Bash 2005, which was a pretty horrible event when Batista got drafted to SmackDown. Every week, this draft was stupid for some reason this year. Every week, someone new would be drafted. So John Cena was the first one to be drafted to Raw, and then Roman would be drafted, and then Batista would be drafted in last week to SmackDown. So it would be JBL versus Batista for the World Heavyweight Championship, which was a pretty garbage match. What was it? Undertaker versus Muhammad Hassan for the #1 contendership for the WWE for the World Heavyweight Championship. So whatever. That pay-per-view is a throwaway. I didn't even like it. Where's SummerSlam? Oh, right here. So we got the SummerSlam 2005 was actually a pretty decent event. We had Eugene versus Kurt Angle, and Kurt Angle lost his gold medal to Eugene on Monday Night Raw. We had Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero in the winner gets Dominic match, and we had John Cena versus Chris Jericho for the WWE Championship, which was actually a pretty good, decent match, and Batista versus JBL in a no-hold-bar match. It was actually a really good match. And the main event of the night was Shawn Michaels versus Hulk Hogan, which was, I think it was a 30-minute match. And this was actually a really good event. We also saw Chris Benoit beat Orlando Jordan for the United States Championship in under 21 seconds, as I recall. People grade this next event highly, but I did not like this event. John Cena, the main Unforgiven 2005, the main event of John Cena versus Kurt Angle. It was a whatever match. It ended in disqualification. Shawn Michaels versus Chris Masters was actually pretty good, and the return of Matt Hardy versus Edge and Steel Cage match, that was the best match of the night. Trish Stratus and Ashley versus Victoria and Tori Wilson, whatever, and Sheldon Bender versus Carver and White, I can't remember. And it has the WrestleMania 22 logo at the back. So we go on to No Mercy 2005, which would be the very last event that Eddie Guerrero would be on, I believe. Am I right or am I wrong? I'm not sure. I think it was the last event. And this was for the WWE Championship. Eddie Guerrero was the heel at the time, and Batista was the face at the time. And it was actually a pretty decent match. But other than Batista ending the match in a spine buster and pinning Eddie Guerrero, and Undertaker and Orton feud was still going on, which was really good. So that was the feud of the year. Next we had Taboo Tuesday, which I liked because it was on a Tuesday. You never have a pay-per-view on Tuesday, which I like the concept of Taboo Tuesday, how we voted. So we had John Cena versus Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels, which was an okay main event. We had Ric Flair versus Triple H. In the Steel Cage match was actually pretty good, but I like the Steel Cage match better in 2004, which was Ric Flair versus Randy Orton, which was the main event of the night, which was actually, I still rated a 5-star match. We had Lance Cade and Trevor Murdoch versus Kane and Big Show. They fully gave this away when they had the voting, because the night, I remember the night before the pay-per-view, how they had Shawn Michaels in the main event, and then after they put Kane and Big Show in the tag team match on Raw. So it's a full giveaway how Shawn Michaels was going to be in the main event for this pay-per-view. So now we have Survivor Series 2005, where Undertaker was dead and he came back to life, and SmackDown team beating Raw team by the help of Randy Orton. We got the John Cena versus Kurt Angle feud, which, oh my god, I wanted Kurt Angle to win so bad in this feud. He had everything against him. John Cena had to come and win again. This was the year of Cena, which I hated. At this point, I hated that Cena was kept going along with the title, and he couldn't lose to Kurt Angle. So that's that. We also had Ric Flair versus Triple H in the Last Man Standing match, which was actually a really good match. So, but this Survivor Series, I didn't really like that much, but it was okay. And the last pay-per-view is Armageddon 2005, and no one cares about the World Heavyweight, the co-main event, whatever you want to call it. Batista and Mysterio versus Kane and Big Show for the World Tag Team Champion. Really? You're not going to defend the title on Armageddon, your SmackDown pay-per-view? The best match of the night was definitely Undertaker versus Randy Orton Hell in a Cell match, which ended their feud. That's how you end a feud in WWE, in a Hell in a Cell match. That you don't go on after, like how they did in Hell in a Cell 2009 or Hell in a Cell 2010. You don't know when a Hell Cell is going to be. That's why I like the concept of Hell in a Cell, and I hate this concept of Hell in a Cell being on pay-per-view, because you know what's going to happen. It's so predictable. It's not so predictable, but it's predictable because like the feud's going on, and they have 2 weeks to build it. And what else are they going to put? So it's easy to get the matches, but it's hard to guess the outcome, but because you don't really know what WWE is going to do. So that's my 2005 PPV Rewind Box Set. That's the empty box. We got through all 14 pay-per-views, I believe, through this year. It was the year John Cena Batista. The spinner belt right here to prove it. So, hope you guys enjoyed this 2005 DVD review. 2005 pay-per-view Rewind Box Set DVD reviews. Thank you for Wrestling Brian 123 for posting that on my wall, and thank you for the 4 people that voted on it. And if you want to see any of these DVDs reviewed, I don't care which ones, I'll gladly do one as long as you go onto my moderator board on my channel and post a comment. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy your weekend, and if you're Canadian, hope you enjoy your long Thanksgiving weekend.